Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business. And the way that these videos work is that they follow the exact same framework every single day. I start by answering some questions from the audience. This means that you can ask your question down below and then I'll answer it in tomorrow's video. Then I run it through my business stats, which is basically just what this big Excel sheet here that I fill out every single day for social growth, cash, revenue, and cost of running my business. And then a little bit about my to-do list, so what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow. And then we ended off with some live strategy with a clear goal in mind of how I'm getting to $1 million a year personal profit while following these rules that I've set for my business. So let's get into it. This is my daily updates channel, which is the one you're watching right now. So I head into community and then I scroll all the way down until I find a comment that I haven't interacted with. And if you have a question, feel free to ask it down below. Then you'll end up in here and then I'll answer your question. We have a question here from Tyler. Let's read it out loud. I appreciate you answering my question about renewals the other day. Super cool to hear your thought process. Just a follow-up for you on how to actually build MRR. What do you actually charge per month on the back end for renewal if a client wants to keep working with you? Good question, bro. So the way that I'm running this business right now is that for the past 10 months, I've only had one offer, which is my mentorship, 9.5k US for a 4-month mentorship, bi-weekly calls with me, 3 weekly group calls, and then a private Slack channel with me, and then access to my community with all the other people that have my mentorship. And then I have a private library of resources, trackers, systems that I provide people with info along the way, because those are internal. It's some I use in my own business. So they're not really structured as a course or a program. So I haven't really structured the business to do MRR, but because I've been pretty flexible with the people who wanted to join the mentorship, 90% of the people that has joined had joined me on a split payment, right? So most people are either split the 9.5k in 2 or 3 installments, which has now just made my business into more MRR without it being consciously my goal of structuring it that way. Because I think there are 2 framings, right? I could position my mentorship as a, let's say, 2.5k per month, cancel anytime. But what I decided to do was that I realized after half a year or so that the best time frame, in my opinion, was 4 months. Because it wasn't half a year, which in my opinion is a little bit too long. That's what my first ever mentorship that I did was 6 months. But the 2 last months were always a little bit awkward because then we had always solved the initial problems that people came to me with. And then we were like in this like weird positioning of course I worked together with these people, but it was kind of like we want to continue, and Fred, like, what's the next step here? And then I decided on the 4 months. So I think, Tyler, it's a good question, man. And I think in the consulting space, it is very, very popular to talk about MRR, right? If you sell high ticket, you are behind almost every month because like you reset, right? Whereas if you had MRR, you build a MRR base and then you could always build on top of the MRR. And I like that thought process a lot. And I think if you have a really good product with low churn, then it's of course very good. But I've just realized, for example, that I have like every single person I work with pay their payment plans off. So I don't really care if I get it up front or not because I'm not really looking for cash at the moment, you know. So I've just been fine with letting people pay in payment plans, and that's why I, in the month of June here, for example, did 40k in cash without really doing any marketing because all of the money that I got in was payment plans, and then some people renewed, and that's the cool part about it. So right now, bro, I actually don't have an offer for people to be like, hey, you had my 9.5k 4 months mentorship. Now you can keep working with me for $1,000, $2,000 per month. I don't have that right now. I might do it when I open up again 1st of September and I kind of like see the different offers that I have in my head right now. And maybe I want to add the MRR element. I like that a lot, actually. I like it's getting like a bit of a longer answer, but it's a whole business philosophy, right? Do you want to charge one time? Do you want to charge MRR? Do you focus on upfront payments? Do you focus on MRR? It's a very interesting conversation, right? What I like to do is that I will probably end up with like a hybrid model, which means that people come to me because they want to undergo a transformation, right? They are in one place with their business they have some struggles, they have some problems, and they have a place they want to be with their business, right? They look at me and my methods and the way that I run my business, and they be like, I want what Fred is having. Like that guy, the way that he runs his business, his personality, his values, they're really cool. I want to be in somewhat of a similar place that he is with his business, and he's probably the best person to teach it since he's already there. So they're looking for a transformation, right? And I've labeled that transformation as a 4 months period, 9.5K. And then, of course, you can, when the 4 months ends, you can be like, hey, let's do another 4 months, but it's the same price point. Or you can just be like, hey, now that you've gotten the transformation that you wanted, if you were happy about it, and if you want to stick around and enjoy all of the benefits and the accessibility that you had in the 4 months period, you can feel free to just pay, let's say, $2,000 a month to access all of these things, and then you can cancel any time and then go and do your own thing. So I like the hybrid a lot because it's like transformation labeled with price point, over deliver and give people the transformation that they wanted, and then MRR, recurring offer. That's a really good model, and I personally enjoy it a lot. And it's also what I did in my last coaching business. Do you offer an ascension offer or strictly just recurring MRR and backend? I think I answered that, Tyler. But yeah, like my business is a little bit atypical right now, right? Because I've just been like having one offer, which was just like the 9.5K, and it's the only thing that I've had really, because there wasn't really like a big promise or anything. It's just like, hey, spend time with me, get me as your external business partner for the next 4 months. And if you struggle with your sales team, I can fix that because I've had my own sales team. If you struggle with content, I can help you because I've built my own brand. If you struggle with profit margins, let me show you how I fixed mine to now running this business that I run now, you know. So I think, and that was on purpose because I wanted to have this period of fluffiness to really understand what was the main things that people actually wanted from the fluffiness, right? So now I have a really good understanding of my ideal customer profile because I did 10 months and almost 700 one-on-one calls and has a 75% renewal rate on my offer, right? So now I feel like I'm in the best ever position to build the program around the last 10 months and then start scaling again. So I hope that made sense, Tyler. Really good question. We have a Bundeep says, thanks, Fred, and also happy 6 years. Thank you so much, bro. Means a lot. Richard here says, if you really made money, you wouldn't be making any videos. Well, I actually really enjoy making content. And I think you have to say that when the content that you make is a large driver in you actually making money, right? But I think for me, I've always stayed extremely true to myself and the content that I post online. So I don't really see it as a burden or something that I don't enjoy. So I enjoy the creative process. And you would also be surprised, Richard, on how many people these videos and my Instagram and my main YouTube channel helps people. I get a lot of cool messages from people saying how my free content has helped them out a lot. So that means a lot. And then of course, content, because the content brings value, right? It's also a large revenue driver inside of my business. And so not only does the content make me money, it also allows me to help a lot of people for free. And it also, due to those two things, right, it spirals into each other so that the growth of my channel is basically like this, right? It's like pretty exponential. And my brand and things that I do also gives me opportunities outside of consulting, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, Richard, I wish you all the best, man. I really do. Lessa here says, hey Fred, I'm currently running a performance-based cold calling business, meaning I get paid $300 to $400 for every appointment I book for my clients on a done-for-you basis. That's a pretty good calls booked price. I don't know if it's a show-up Lessa or if it's a sale so that you get commission on every sale, but yeah, if it's for every appointment you book, it's pretty good. Until now, I have only been running my business with that one done-for-you package, but lately I've had a lot of leads come inbound who might not be in a position to pay $300 per appointment for the done-for-you, so I've been considering adding another package. How would you structure a done-with-you hybrid offer as an appointment setting agency? What should I give to my clients, and how would you recommend that I structure my pricing? Very good question, bro. This is typically the thing that I help 90% of my clients with, right? Like they come to me with either a done-for-you agency or a coaching business with only one offer. and then it's my job to make sure that I create them more leverage. And one of the best ways of creating people more leverage is making sure that they have additional ways of serving more people without doing more work. Not to say that you should look for not doing more work, but for example, in your case here, right, it's that you've clearly found a system, right, that allows you to book appointments for these businesses, right? This system is not exclusive to you. It is right now because you're the only one doing it, right? But this system can probably be packaged into a step-by-step process, and maybe you have frameworks or scripts that allows you to run this process. So how do you find the cold calls? How do you call them and approach them? How do you structure the conversation? How do you pitch the call? How do you follow up with the pipeline? How do you manage phone setters? Like all of these things, bro, is valuable knowledge, right? So let's say a company comes to you and they're like, Lasse, we don't want to pay you per appointment because we already have an internal team. Then, well, you can ask them like, hey, what's your current revenue and where do you want to go? Like, why do you need more appointments? And they'll maybe say that, like, hey, we're doing, let's say, let's do easy numbers here, and then just say, yeah, let's say we're doing 10, not 10,000 K, but let's say that we're oh my god, I'm so fried. Let's say that they're doing 10K, right, in MRR, and they're like, we're not gonna pay 300 per booking, bro, because we already have an in-house team, right? And maybe their goal is, for example, to double their appointments, which would get them to 20K in MRR, right? And if they have a client that sticks around for, let's say, the average 5 months, then if you add 10K in MRR, it has a deal value of 50K, right? So maybe as you'll be like, hey, that's all good, but for 10K in setup, I will actually teach your in-house team the system that I use myself. You just pay me once and I teach you the system, then you'll have it forever. And then when I've taught the system and implemented on your in-house team, then you can call me anytime in the next 2 months and I'll help you with tweaking it and reviewing it. I'll do one review per week for your phone dialers. So you make like a package for them, bro, and then you sell them up front. Maybe if it's a client where you don't want to focus on cash up front, maybe you want to do a smaller, let's say $50 per appointment, but instead of you doing it done for you, you do it done with you. So you consult them on the same package that you just charge up a setup for, but you believe a lot in the case, so you'll be like, hey, these people have like an extremely high call volume already. So if I add my system, maybe we can 4x that. And then if you charge $50 per booking and you don't have to do anything because you just consult, then it's also very worth it for you there, bro. So I think don't be too scared to add a consulting package, because what happens, bro, is that your done for you, right, will actually increase tremendously in value because you also do consulting. Because you'll be like, yeah, I have done for you, but it's only for top 1% SaaS who wants to outsource appointment booking. And if you, Lasse, believe that they're a good fit, and for 80% of your clients, they just pay you done with you, a consulting fee, an upfront fee, a smaller performance share for consulting and training their in-house team, or basically you maybe finding a phone setter and then plugging the phone setter into people's business. So I think, bro, there's a lot of opportunity here. This can add a lot of money to your business. I've seen it too many times now that adding a consulting offer is one of the best things that you can do, or especially as an agency. You just, because you're done for you valuation just does this, right? Like I did consulting, then I added an agency service, and my agency here in June I think my agency did $17,000 here in June, just from operating done for you clients, right? And I work 2 hours a week on it. So I think that's best of luck. It will definitely help your business. Bro, your age? I'm 25. Thanks for the question. Next up, we have business stats, right? So let's check out the growth of my social channels. 285 here on my daily updates, and on my main channel we have 390. Sorry. So we scroll all the way down. We zoom in a little bit so that you can actually see something, and then we duplicate here, and then we say C36390. My Instagram is currently at 2995. I'm losing a lot of followers on my IG these days, which is fair enough. And no money made. No money made yesterday. So yeah, that's where we are at with business stats. We are at 43k in cash. If you've watched yesterday, I've added $100 by the way here because I miscalculated something. Instead of 3304, it was actually 3404 because I miscalculated some WAP fees. So if you were wondering, I'm not tweaking with the numbers here. I'm just I had to do live math yesterday when I was pretty cooked, and that's not a good combination, I promise you that. Then my to-do list. So today, as I also said yesterday, I'm taking this weekend off to just spend time with family because tomorrow morning I'm traveling for 2.5 months back to Dubai. So yeah, just family day today. So not a lot here. And today we had a lot of questions, so I won't do any strategy either. I need to pack my bags and get up early in the morning for a train ride and then fly to Dubai and then get to bed. And then I'm looking forward to 2.5 months of just working and working. There's nothing else you could kind of do in Dubai. It's way too hot to be there. But yeah, that's how it is. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Means a lot. I wish you all the best with your business. Keep going, keep doing you, and we'll see each other tomorrow.